I want to talk about something very important, a particular kind of heritage here on eNCA. Many of us who spend most of our time hustling and bustling in the country's major cities, sometimes, let's be honest, we feel a bit like we're losing touch with our cultural ways, whatever your culture and heritage may be. Now, on returning for the holidays to the family homestead, we of course do not want to upset the elders, and especially the maternal uncles. We know how upset they get. Now, of course, there's a way of refamiliarizing ourselves with our roots, and I'm sure many people would love to do that. A book, a beautiful book by Eastern Cape writer and agriculturalist Hombakazi Mercy Nqandeka, titled Don't Upset ooMalume. Even I know that you don't upset ooMalume, exploring different aspects of village life within the Xhosa culture and heritage. It's so wonderful to have you on the show. First of all, looking beautiful as well for the weekend. We'll talk about the book now. What's your heritage weekend going to look like? What are you planning?
So it's here, and then I have a book launch at 6 at Crest Exclusive Books here in Joburg. And then there's a wedding I'm going to tomorrow. Oh, before that, I have another interview.
Oh, before that? Were you not busy enough already?
It's very, yeah, it's kind of lined up with a lot of activities, cultural activities, which I love the most, so yeah.
And I wanted to talk to you specifically about this, because I'll be very honest, I don't know much about the Xhosa culture and village life. But obviously, Tumelo Motatwane, my normal co-host, Faith Mangope has hijacked the show for today. But my normal co-host, she loves the culture and village life. And we always talk about it when we have stories coming out of those parts of the country as well. Why don't we want to upset ooMalume?
Yeah, so actually the title came about because we wanted to ensure that the people who live in the cities, when they come home, you know, they come home and they're speaking English, and ooMalume maybe doesn't understand English and is a little bit tipsy, and you're complicating it with him. So you don't want to upset ooMalume. You want to be able to step up your Xhosa game and be able to converse with ooMalume in the language he understands, and to impress him in a way, like asking about cultural things, but don't ask too much, because it's going to be feeling a little bit intimidated that, hey, know your territory. So it's like a nice way of saying, don't upset ooMalume, just know about your culture, which is...
Is it something it's easy to do, especially when you talk about those coming back from the city, going home, wherever home may be? Can you offend the elders and the uncles and the aunties and the gogos and and everyone else in the family? Can you upset them quite easily if you're not careful?
You can, because I mean, especially if you're very blunt about cultural issues, you know, about protocols and talking to who, how. You know, like to your grandmother, you can't just call your grandmother with her name, for example. In our culture, we don't. You don't call your mom with her name. So if you come back and you're going to these schools that allow you to call elders with names, and then you come back home and you call everyone with their name, people are going to be like very alarmed, you know. So it's very easy to step on toes culturally.
So this is your third book, I understand, as well. Yes. So I think everybody will know how beautifully you write as well. But I'm always curious when I talk to authors, there must have been a moment, if I had to give you a map of your timeline, your life, and you had to put a pin where the idea of this book came from, where were you sitting? What were you doing where you thought, I have to write a book about this? What happened? There's always something that's happened, isn't it?
Yeah, it was 2019 December when I decided to go live with my mom, because I couldn't get a job. I had studied abroad and I came back from France in 2018 December, and I was like, there's no plan. So I went back home to live with my mom in my village. And
where is that?
It's in Eledale in the Eastern Cape. And I was just sitting there taking pictures of nature and everything, and I was like, maybe this is it. I'm just going to educate people about my culture. But it was on social media. It started on social media. And then later, some months later, people were like, maybe you should write a book about this. This is a lot of information that you bring. We look forward to your lessons in the morning. So it became that. And I was like, okay. Maybe I can.
Maybe, or not only maybe can you do it, you've actually gone and done it as well. So what's the reception been? I mean, I know the book is relatively new. There's the book launch coming up at Cresta, etc. later. But you say this started on social media.
Yes.
What did people make of that? Maybe let's start with the younger generation.
Yes.
How did they feel about someone coming out and trying to educate them about how to behave back home? What was the response like?
It was an amazing response, because I didn't really try to have them behave a certain way, but I was just posting about maybe food, a dish that they don't know. And I explained what it is, the ingredients, how you make it, and what it means to the culture. And people were like, I didn't know that. People kept saying, oh, you remind me of my grandmother, my uncle, my this and that. So it was a great reception. It was not reprimanding, telling them what to do, but it was...
Be careful with the tone, don't you?
Yeah, it was me bringing the culture, and people received it greatly.
And then, as I asked about the youngsters specifically, I'd like to know what's the reaction been from and I mean respectfully, the older generation, because they're the ones very embedded still in the way things should be done within the culture, respect, how you address people. What's their response been like? Have you been on track?
Yes. So with this book, I did a lot of interviews with elders, and they would laugh at me when I'm asking about these things. Like, oh, you were abducted, and how did that happen? What did you think of it? And then they'll tell me a story that you're asking too much. You're asking a lot of questions. Then they'll happily invite me to sit and tell me the story. So it's been amazing that, oh, you're actually writing about these things. These are like things we know about. Like, why do you write about them? And then when I actually wrote about them and the pictures in the book and they see them, they've been amazing. They're like, great job. Like, this is needed, you know, to be captured. So it's been an amazing feedback from them.
What's the one thing that when you were busy doing the interviews and the sit-downs with the elders of the villages, what's the one thing where you thought, good grief, I didn't even know that, and I've lived here? What's the one thing that stood out for you?
One thing that stood up for me, it was, you know, when the mole soil, when the mole digs the soil, and then you have that thing out.
Yeah.
And I was asking about what is that useful in our culture? And an old guy, Dr. Nqandeka, actually a Xhosa renowned person, and he told me that you take a handful of the soil. When people back in the time, there were no mortuaries. When someone had died, they'd take a handful of the fresh mole soil and they put it in the belly button of the deceased so that they don't swell and raise quickly. And that, for me, was outstanding because you have relatives that need to go fetched by horses from different villages. So while you're waiting for the next day to bury, you put that. And that, for me, still to this day, I'm like, how did the people know? How did they know that you can use soil on soil? Because we are soil.
Yes.
But it's been outstanding for me, I think.
You see, this is why I wanted to talk to you, because I love stories like that, because it's so easy to make the connection now that you know soil on soil, but you'd never think of that.
Exactly.
I'm going to say goodbye to you in a moment, but before I do so, you mentioned the book launch.
Yes.
So where is this going to be? You mentioned exclusive books, so there's the hard copy there.
Yes.
Is it available now? Is it available for download? Tell us where we can get this.
So the book has been out since July 22nd, and I've launched it already in Cape Town. I'm launching it today at Cresta Exclusive Books. It's available in book stores nationwide. Exclusive Book, Bargain Books. It's on Takealot, it's on Look, it's on Amazon, Kindle version. So it's really available everywhere.
It really is available everywhere, just in time as well for Heritage Day weekend as well. And congratulations, your third book. You look lovely. I hope you have a wonderful Heritage weekend. It sounds like you're busy, though. So I hope you take some time to also celebrate your heritage.
Thank you.
Joining us this morning, Hombakazi Nqandeka. Don't upset ooMalume. No, don't do it. We all know what happens when you upset ooMalume. There's a guide for you now, how not to do it. Going to be launching this weekend. All right, do not